was notorious for a very long time for literally just screwing dudes and not talking to anymore. So pretty much like sleeping with them off with their head. Not technically killing them, but like, I'm done with you now. There's no more of us. And so I was like, oh, well, this is perfect. I'm just going to be called Black Widow. And so I was Black Widow for 2 years. But no one ever called me Black Widow. They just called me Widow. We were watching LA Inc. and Kat Von D was on TV. And I was like, ooh, how about I'm Widow Von D? And so I pondered on it for like an hour. And then we were listening to music, and I was listening to Erykah Badu. And I was like, Widow Von Badu. And I said, I was like, it kind of works. And my roommate was like, how about Widow Von Do? And I was like, that is epic. And that's how my whole name came to be. In this city, I'm the only one that's 200 and some change that goes out there, and I dance a lot. I do tricks, flips, splits, contortion, back bends. A lot of queens here don't do that. I also don't allow the fact that I'm big stop me from wearing whatever the hell I want to wear. I was like, it's my body. I like it. I'm going to wear what I want. And hearing stuff from like other big girls saying that they find confidence when they see me come out and just whatever I want makes a big difference. But you know, that's what sets me apart. That I just don't give a fuck what people think. And I'm going to go out there and give you one hell of a show. And every time you see me, it's the same thing. That's, you know, it's big and flashy and epic. I'm always extra. Yeah, the US, so the big pageants to do are Continental, Entertainer of the Year, US of A, America, and All American Goddess. And in 1 year's time, I've done EOI, America, and US of A. And if I'm lucky, I can probably squeeze in Continental too before a whole year's over. This crown is my Miss Gay Kansas City crown. I won that last year. Miss Gay Kansas City 2017. I took every category except for one. And it was my first like big pageant for America system. It was real fun. I placed top 5 at state my first time. So before I get to that crown. So this shoe also goes with that crown. So I won presentation as the Wicked Witch, which is one of my favorite characters to do. I hid this shoe from the judges, and then when I turned around to show off my full self and all like these jewels and the Wicked Witch look, I just presented the judges with the shoe, and everybody in the building went absolutely nuts. So I've worn this shoe one time. I've worn these shoes one time, and I've used them for my Wicked Witch ever since. I like to entertain. I wanted to be an entertainer ever since I was 3. Now, if you'd have told me at 3 I'd be doing it in drag, I wouldn't have known what you were talking about. But if you told me that again when I was, 12, I'd have laughed at you. I wanted to go into the military originally, and I didn't want anything to affect that. And also, I lost my mom at the same time of me coming out, and it was just a lot. And I didn't actually get to come out. I was outed. Correct. So the funny thing is, my dad's side of the family is They're very like conservative, and I was welcomed with open arms there as a drag queen. My dad didn't accept the fact that I was gay at first, but he came around. He doesn't care anymore as long as I'm happy. He hates every dude that I date though. He don't think any of them are good enough. When he found out I was a drag queen, he was like, as long as you're happy and you're making money and you're the best of everyone that's around. But my mom's side of the family, like only my sisters are okay with the fact that I do drag and that I'm gay. A few of my aunts, one passed away. She loved me. She was too sick to come see me in shows. Another one, my aunt, she comes and sees me in shows. She parties all the time when she comes out. But the rest of the family, they just don't accept it. And honestly, I don't really care. We don't really talk. Only time we talk is at funerals. And I was like, so every time my sister calls me, I was like, which suit do I have to break out today? So I have an uncle. I'm named after him. He couldn't have kids, so my mother named me after him to make him feel special. For the longest time, I didn't understand why he was in a certain place, and we would have to drive so far to see him. And then I found out he was in prison when I got older. And when he was released, he found out that I was a raging homosexual. And the first words out of his mouth at Thanksgiving, which was the last time I saw family, was, "You're an abomination. You're going to go to hell for sleeping with men and dressing up as a lady and this and that." And I looked him square in his face and said, "Didn't you kill someone 40 years ago and spent 40 years in prison for it? Who's going to hell first?" Not only am I scrutinized for my skin color, I'm scrutinized for the fact that I do drag, that um, that I'm a big person, and it just like so all that takes an effect. Like I literally don't really like outside of like my closest friends. I don't talk to people. Like I don't go out to bars. I don't do anything when I'm not performing. I don't go out. I mostly stay at my house on my computer working on stuff for the next show, working on the next gig, working on trying to make Widow Von do a national name. So I feel it from all sides, from black people, white people, all people. So for a long while, black people in the gay community kept calling me whitewash because I only worked with queens that were Caucasian. And I had to keep reminding them I'm not whitewashed. I don't see color when I'm doing shows. I see money. I see dollar signs. Like if you're paying me to come to your show, yes, I'm going to come to your show versus doing a show for free. I was like, I live in a world where you should never do your art for free. And so a lot of the people of the African American community, they treated me like complete shit for the longest time because I only worked with white people. And working in a predominantly white scene in drag, it seems like I have to constantly always be over the top because it just it's the world we live in. And then nothing against the people I work with. Like none of them are racist. None of them are. They treat me differently like, because of my skin tone. Like we're a family. It's just that I feel like I have to constantly work harder because I'm only seen as the black queen. Like you'd be surprised how many people will talk to me all day, all night at the bar when I'm in drag. And the moment I get out of drag, it's like I completely just went invisible. I had gotten some really big trouble, and so I was doing community service, court ordered, and we were in a van. We were on our way to a nursing home because we would clean the nursing home or cook food in the kitchen for the elderly, or we would sit outside with them and just take them on like walks around the complex and stuff like that to get them outside. And this lady, she ran a red light and she smashed to the side of the van. And all of a sudden, it just went completely like silent. Like I couldn't hear anything. Um, I jerked to my left and I slammed into this window on my right and like shattered the window. And as this van was spinning, Like my head was like outside the window the entire time while we were going, and then it stopped, and then all I know is that people just kept screaming because it just got loud all of a sudden, and like we're crawling out of this van, and like there's all these kids hurt and stuff like that, and I had to be rushed to the hospital because I had all these cuts on my head and I couldn't see. Um, and then so I had to go in for all these MRIs and stuff like that, and like painting my face, like I have to like focus really hard into my mirror to actually keep my eyes forward. Like I can't, my focus is off. I can't walk a straight line to save my life. So if I was to ever do a sobriety test, it'd be sober. I will always fail. Driving is sometimes a challenge because the signs start to get blurry, even with my contacts in or my glasses on. Everything is like the signs get a little bit blurry. And listening to song lyrics, it takes me forever to learn lyrics. So I will listen to the same song over and over and over again for hours and hours and days on end. Like if we were just here and we weren't recording, I'd be listening to the same 3 songs I'm doing tonight over and over again just to make sure I remember the words. Well, my whole life I wanted to be an entertainer, and that's what I want to do. And I see drag taking me so far. It started taking me to Europe. Like I want to see the world, and I want to share my gift of entertainment with everybody. That's where I see drag taking me, and that's why I work my ass off to be the best, to be the one that everybody wants to see. To have a following all over the country. That's what I'm working to.